Hey, Pokedad fan club, it's me, Pokedad, again, and we're continuing our series on 2016 Pokemon Spring Regionals preparation. We've got less than a month before regionals start here in the spring, so we're showing off some more decks. This one is another battle video 2 for Vespiquen Vileplume. I believe in this one we take on Greninja Break. Um, I normally commentate these as I'm playing, but I've had some audio issues with several of these videos that I pre-recorded, and so I'm just going back and I'm adding the commentary. Actually, tell me what you think about that. Do you prefer me to do the commentary like this after I've done a battle video? Um, uh, it probably gives me a little bit more time to think while I'm playing the game, and then I can come back and talk about the battle uh, as we're actually doing it. Looks like I get a mulligan in this first one. So again, we're just trying to get the Vileplume off with turn one, get a Vespiquen or two set up, and then trying to get about 10 to 12 Pokemon in the discard pile. I guess you could have as little as 8 or 9. But I like to just shoot for kind of a round number of 10 so that I feel like I know, where I'm pacing myself for this deck. If you can hit the 15 Pokemon in one turn, that's kind of like the magic number to begin knocking out EXs. It is possible, especially since we play 29 Pokemon in this deck, but it's not usually, we usually don't do it. Now it looks like we have, it's not a great hand, but it's not a terrible hand. We do at least start the forest, so we're going to be able to evolve that Gloom right away. And I think we get to go first. I'm not sure. Yeah, we do get to go first. Alright, so that Oddish can become Ultra Ball fodder, so we're okay. We know we're going to get a Shaman EX, and we can actually Ultra Ball that other forest also. So we know we have the Shaman, and we want to go ahead and pull that out so that our Acrobikes can give us a choice of 2 other cards. We don't want to happen to like draw into a Shaman and then Ultra Ball for another Shaman. I mean, we still theoretically could, but it reduces the probability of that happening. Here we see the Acrobike, and we got between Toxicroak and Mew. Um, I'm pretty sure that I saw that it was just water, that there wasn't any metal involved, so I was okay with the Toxicroak. And by getting rid of the Toxicroak, by grabbing the Mew, we can go ahead and put the DCE on it, which then allows us to Shaman for an additional 6 here. We're in a decent position though here because we can level ball here. I think we get the unknown just so we can continue on a little bit more. No, maybe we get the Combi because then we can battle compress a Shaman into the discard pile, and then use Buddy Buddy Rescue to grab the Shaman. So I'm pretty sure that's what I do here. So we play the Combi down. We can go ahead and evolve into Vespiquen. We're still looking for a Float Stone, so we're doing okay though. We're going through quite a bit of our cards, and here we're going to go ahead and be able to battle compress some stuff. Like I said, we'll battle compress a Shaman, and the Execute is one of the first things we battle compress, and at this point we can get rid of all Oddishes or Glooms. We really don't need those anymore. Alright, we are going to be able to pull that Shaman out of the discard pile. Our opponent hadn't even had a turn yet, which this is usually why Buddy Buddy Rescue is okay, because our opponent, we usually get to use it on the first turn, and our opponent hasn't even got a Pokemon in the discard pile unless they went first. So we usually don't have a problem getting that. Now, looks like we're kind of drawing dead. But we still have that Trainer's Mail to grab us another Ultra Ball potentially. But before we do that, before we Trainer's Mail, we always want to thin our deck out as much as possible. So we're going to go ahead and put some more Pokemon in the discard pile. There's another Gloom. We don't need that. Unfortunately, though, the Oddishes, I think, are in our hand. Oddish and other Gloom are in our hand. So we have to decide what else do we want to get rid of. And I think in this case, we're okay getting rid of Combi and Vespiquen, maybe. Or we can always go with the unknowns. I think I counted though how many Combis and Vespiquens we had left. Yeah, so we went ahead and got rid of one of those, and I think that we end up. Yeah, I wanted to grab the Sycamore, but I had the two Vespiquens in hand, so I think I have to make a big decision here, and I think the decision is to go ahead and go with the Ultra Ball. Um, And here's the thing, we can still potentially draw into the Sycamore, um, but in this case, so that's why I decided, not to worry about it. However, I think if I remember correctly, we're going to get the Sycamore here, yes. And so now we have a big choice because um, we don't really have, we're going to have to give up two Vespiquens and a DCE, but I go ahead and get rid of another Combi since we're giving up the Vespiquens anyway. We want to make the attack even stronger. And one thing we should point out is we do have the Mew on the bench, so we're okay with getting rid of these, but we realize at this point we're pretty much stuck with just two attackers from here on out because we've given up everything we have. Now, we're okay with putting the lock down here, and the reason is because we've got the AZ in hand. So next turn we'll be able to AZ, bring up the Mew, and then try to build the lock off again. Alright, he Sycamores, he gets rid of a Greninja. He's got Ion Pool, which gets rid of the Stadium, which is actually a good play because if we didn't have a Stadium in hand, then we were going to be stuck. But we would have never put the Vileplume down if we didn't have the AZ available to us. And so we grabbed the AZ, picked that all up. And I think I have a little misplay here. The ideal thing we should have done is probably put that unknown down and farewell lettered. But instead I went ahead and just put the lock back up. The reason why we should have farewell lettered is because we had a potential chance to maybe draw into that not the dive ball, the float stone. And so now we're living real risky because we did not put a float stone down on the Vileplume. But there's a couple things I know. Is one, I know some Greninja decks don't even play Lysander, and the second thing is if they do, they usually play just one, so the chances of him having it are pretty slim. He does end up inning here just to see if he can draw into something, and I think right after this he just scoops because he doesn't even grab a bench Pokemon. He doesn't even get a Froakie out, and that's just the power of the deck. Yeah, and so he just scoops. So anyway, guys, here's a couple of the things I want you to learn from this battle video. Is number one is that the power of the AZ. We don't always need float stone, and in this case we were able to item lock turn one even though we weren't really set up completely, but knowing that we had the AZ in hand, we could easily pull that Vileplume off, get our attacker in position, and then put the lock back up, and it was just very problematic for our opponent, and we just won on turn two. And had it come back to us, we had to just be revenge for the game anyway. So that is the Vespiquen Vileplume. This is the last battle video I'm going to show of this because Vespiquen Vileplume is pretty much straightforward. We're going to move on to another deck profile after these, and we'll do some more battle videos with those. Anyway, guys, hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you haven't already. Any questions or comments that you have, please leave them in the comments below. We'll try to get those answered for you. And if you haven't seen Team Rogue Dogs, please check out our Facebook page. It's Team Rogue Dogs, and be part of that community too. Anyway, guys, this is PokeDad signing off.